Hello guys, I hope you're all doing well. My name is Enzen Charmaine. Welcome to my page, Life with Enzen. Thank you so much for following me. Thank you so much for viewing my videos and for commenting and contributing to the content. The time is about 20 minutes past 8 and I'm in this beautiful country of Argentina. Yes, as you can see the subject line, today I'm going to be talking about how I got trafficked part 2. So it's actually a continuation of what we're talking about yesterday. Okay, so the last part I was talking about yesterday is that the guy brought me to this big mansion, and then after that he was trying to touch me and to kiss me, and I was resisting him, but then I wasn't so aggressive because I was also scared of him. I didn't want him to get aggressive with me and to start manhandling me. Hello, thanks for joining. Yes. So after that, he was playing very loud music so that the neighbors and everybody cannot be able to hear what was going on inside the house. And then after that, I resisted him. I tried to resist him, but then I wasn't aggressive. I was just polite with him that, no, I don't want to do this. Stop touching me. I don't want to be kissed. Stop kissing me. And then after that, he received a call. I guess it was from one of his friends that he was communicating with ever since I was in the car. The group of friends that he was making deals with about me. So after he got that call, he started talking on the call, and he was talking for quite a long time. And then I guess the friends called him for an in-person meeting, that he must go and meet them in person. So as he was on the call, I was still seated on the couch. I was still praying to the Lord and asking the Lord to rescue me from this situation. And then after that, the man finished on the call, and then he told me, okay, I have to go now and meet some of my Ethiopian friends. And then I asked him, for how long are you going to stay there? And what time are you coming back? He told me, I'm just going to be fast. I won't stay that long. I'll come back very soon. I said, don't lock the doors. Just leave the doors open. I don't want to be locked here. And then he told me, okay, it's fine. It's not a big deal. I'll just give you the keys. So even if I lock the door, it's not a problem, the main door, because you'll be having your own keys. Then he gave me a key, of which he claimed it was the spare key to this mansion. And then after that, he locked me on the outside. And then as he was locking me on the outside, and as he was starting to move, I opened with this key. And then to my surprise, the key was not working at all. And then I was like, what the hell? This man was actually lying to me. He gave me the key that was not working so that maybe I can just not give him too much trouble as he was about to leave. So I just shook the door aggressively, and then I shouted his name, but then he didn't say anything. He just left. I opened the window. I saw him. Then I knocked on the window, and then he looked back at me. And then I told him, the key is not working. The key is not working. And then after that, he just took off. He ran, literally, which means everything was deliberate. Then he got into his car and he started driving the car out of the premises. He left. After he left, I continued to pray to the Lord so that the Lord can rescue me out of the situation, and also I thought about calling that friend because I saw his messages, but then I was unable to interact with him. He was actually asking me how did it go. And then when I saw his messages, I called the number and then I told him, oh, it turns out that you were right. This place is not safe. The person was not safe. The person is a trafficker. The person took me to the location that I don't know. He took me out the city and he was speeding. He refused to let me go out of his car and find my way back home. And then he brought me to his mansion. He was threatening me that if I say anything, I do anything that would attract the attention of the people, or if I scream for help, he was gonna let the dogs kill me. So this one was like, what? I actually knew it. I knew it. My conscience told me that it wasn't safe. Now, how can I help you? Where are you? You know where you are now? Do you know the house number? Do you know the address? I said, I don't know where I'm at. Because it was my first time even in Alice, in that city. It was my first time. I've never been to Alice before. It was my first time going there. So I didn't know the city of Alice, and I didn't know the nearby cities. So after that, he was like, if you don't know where you are, I actually don't know how to help you, but I really, really want to help you. I want to send the police there. I want to communicate with the local police, but then I don't know what can I do for you. Since you don't know where you are, you don't know the address, and it will be so difficult for the police to navigate through your location and try to rescue you. By that time, guys, it was only 2013. So even the phone that I was using, it was not a smartphone. It didn't really have the options of sending my live location. Right now it's 2023. If something happens to you, you don't know where you're at, you have the options of just sending your location to that person who's trying to help you, and you can get help quite faster. But then that time we didn't have the options of sending location. So after that, he was like, okay, let me think, what can I do for you? I really don't know what can I do for you, but then don't panic, okay? I will pray for you as well. Just relax yourself up until we come up with a plan. So he told me, call your family. You have to tell your mother, you have to tell your sisters. I was like, what? I can't tell my family members because it's like they can't do anything themselves. So if I just call my mother or I call my father and tell him what happened, it's like I'll just be stressing them out because they won't know how to help me. So it's better for me to go through this alone, because if I tell them what is happening to me right now, they will only be stressed out. Maybe they can get sick or something. They will be very emotional because they're very close to me. My father could cry, my sister could cry, but they won't really know what to do. So it's better for me not to communicate and figure out what's gonna happen next, because if my family panics and they keep on calling me with panic and with that sense of urgency, even myself, I'm not going to be settled. If I hear somebody crying on the phone, neighbor, what's going on, blah, 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 and they're emotional, they're going to make me to be weak as well. And at this moment, I don't need to be weak. I just need to try to be strong, although I am fearful for my life. So I stayed in that sofa. I was messaging him, telling him, okay, the guy didn't come back. It was after 2 hours. I was updating him every now and then, and he would call me every now and then. He would check me almost every hour. And he told me that, okay, when you hear the car coming inside the premises, Just let me know so that I don't call you anymore, because he might think of taking your phone away from you if he knows that you're communicating with somebody who can help you. So it's better I don't communicate when the guy is there. Just let me know so that I don't call you. Put your phone on silence, I'll just message you. I said okay. And then I sat there for hours. The guy wasn't coming. I was terrified for all this time. I was shaking, I was sweating. I was waiting for the worst to happen to me. And I was praying as well. And then as I was seated there, I felt like I wanted to go pee. But then I didn't want to go pee, although my body was sending me to the bathroom. I was thinking in my head that no, the situation is very tight on my side. So I don't want to go out looking for toilets, go around this house. I'd rather stay in the same position, whereas I'm thinking, what can I do next to save my life by the grace of the Most High God? And then the urge to pee continued to press on me. So after that, I decided, okay, since the urge to pee is pressing up on me, I should just locate for the toilet. I should just try to go around before I can pee myself and look for the toilet. So the mansion was very, very big. Okay, it wasn't a small house or a small mansion. It was a mega mansion. So I started taking a tour around that mansion with the intent of finding the toilet. And then eventually I found the toilet, and then after I found it, I peed. Then upon finishing peeing, when I got out of the toilet, I saw another door, which was the back door. And then after that, something told me, don't go back to the sofa. Just test if this back door is opened. Then I opened the back door. To my surprise, it wasn't locked. And then I got happy, but then when I saw the burglar door, I was like, okay, maybe it's not what I think. Maybe the burglar door is locked. Maybe this back door is not going to be of any help to me at the moment. But then I switched on the torch on my phone, and then I looked at the burglar door. And to my surprise, there was no locker on the burglar door. It was opened, it wasn't locked. So I opened it slowly. I pushed it, and then I saw that, okay, I can use this back door to get out, because the guy probably forgot that he didn't have his back doors locked when he was locking me in and running away. Or maybe he forgot to lock the back doors in the morning when he was going out to the other city. Or maybe it was the angels that actually opened a way for me to leave, to escape. I don't know, it was the work of the Lord. Let me say it like that. Whether he forgot it or the Lord came, I sent his angels to come open for me. So, okay. So, after that, I called my friend. I told him that, okay, I found the back door, and it's not locked, it's opened. It's the door that I can use to escape. But then the problem is that the main gate is opened. So even if I can use this back door, it's like I'll be stuck by the gate, because the gate is using the remote system for closing and opening. So I can't be able to open or close it, since the guy left the gate open, and the gate is very, very high. It wasn't a low gate, and there was an electric fence around the gate, on the top of the gate. So which means that if I could have tried to climb the gate and to jump, I was going to be shocked by the electrical fence when I'm touching it. Then my friend told me that, no, you should go out. You should go out and you will figure out what you will do when you're outside. And then I told him the other problem besides the gate is that there are dogs here. There are pit bulls and the other bigger breed of dogs. So I'm afraid that they might devour me upon going out, because when I came in, whereas I was walking with this guy to the mansion, they were barking at me like crazy and they wanted to hurt me. So I'm worried that the dogs will hurt me if I try to go out. And then he said that, no, they won't hurt you. Just go out. Even if it's a pit bull or not a pit bull, it doesn't matter. Just go out now. Go out now whereas you can. Go out and save your life. I felt so much strength in me after he told me those words. I felt so much courage in me. And then I said a short prayer. I told the Lord that I know that from the Bible that in the past, when Daniel was cast in the lion's den, he was able to shut the mouth of the lions so that the lions couldn't hurt Daniel. So I told him that I know he's the same God who saved Daniel from the lions. So since he is the same God who saved Daniel from the lions, I do believe that he can save me from these dogs as well. So after I said that prayer, I opened the door slowly, as I was afraid for my life and I was shaking. I opened the door very, very slowly, and then I walked very, very slowly to the gate. And then the dogs just looked at me and they were just moving their tails left, right, up and down. So I felt like the dogs were happy. It was a miracle for me. It was a very, very big miracle. Not a single dog barked at me. They were just so quiet. So I walked slowly to the gate, very, very slowly. I wasn't making sudden moves. I wasn't running or rushing to the gate. Then when I got to the gate, I decided to rub my hands with my clothes. I took off some of my clothes that I was wearing. I rubbed my left hand and then I rubbed my right hand as well, so that I don't get shocked when I'm touching the electrical fence that is at the top. So I then climbed up, and then after that I jumped. And then after I was out of that place, I decided to walk very fast and running interchangeably, walking very fast and running. But then my knees were shaking so much. It was so difficult for me to run. So after some time, I didn't know what to do because it was very, very late. I just stood next to the road after running for a very long time, and after getting far from that mansion, I felt like the road was safe. And then I stood next to the road, and then I started stopping the cars that were passing by. But then unfortunately for me, there was no car that was willing to stop for me, because it's like people were scared for their lives as well. In South Africa, some women would pretend like they're in trouble. They would go at night, they would stop the cars and pretend like they're in need of help, but then they are actually working with thugs that would hijack the car or that would rob the driver if the driver would stop to help the woman. So I guess many drivers on the road were thinking that maybe I'm part of that scheme. Maybe I'm the woman who's just looking for somebody to rob. I have my gang behind that is waiting to rob somebody who's gonna stop for me. So I stood next to the road. I stopped the cars. There was no car that was stopping. And then I started crying now because I didn't know what to do. And then I went to the darker side of the road because I didn't want people to notice me from afar. Maybe other pedestrians, male pedestrians that are walking maybe to whatever location that they are going to. because I felt like I was vulnerable and anybody could have came to hurt me, because that space was close to the forest. I wasn't close to the houses because I felt like I wasn't safe next to those mansions. That's why I moved like far away from the houses. I didn't want the guy to notice me when he was coming back to his house. So after some time, at that point I was no longer even trying to stop the cars. It was extremely cold. I was freezing. My body was freezing. And I was literally terrified. I was scared and I was shaking as well. Not from fear alone at that point, but then I was also shaking from the cold. And then there was a car that passed by. That car was driven by a woman, and she was traveling with her own sister. So this woman, although she was scared, but she felt the need of stopping to inquire what was going on with me, because she saw I was crying when she decided to turn on her lights and look at my direction to figure out what was going on. And then he stopped. He asked me, "What's going on with you? Are you okay? Why are you here at this time? Do you know the crime rate is serious here? People are committing serious crime. There's rape, there's trafficking. Somebody would come and rape you here. It's not safe. This is the most dangerous spot. Women are being killed when they are walking in this road alone at night. They would be raped, they would be killed. Why are you here? Are you even aware of the danger that you are putting yourself in?" So after that, I told them that I actually got trafficked, and then I escaped from that house, and then I decided to run towards that direction. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know anything about safety of the road. By the way, I'm not from this city. I'm a student at Alice. So initially I arrived at Alice City, not in that specific city. And then I asked them what was the name of the city where I was. They told me it's Buffalo. It's a city called Buffalo. I say, oh, okay. I think in English it's called Fort Beaufort. Whatever. I don't know the city in English, but it's Buffalo in Gaza. Right, so the woman told me, okay, since you're saying that you escaped a human trafficker, just get into the car. We'll see what to do with you when you are here inside the car. So I got into the car, and then after that, they was asking me what happened. Then at that time, I started breaking down a lot. I became even more emotional when I wanted to talk about it, to tell them what happened to me. I became more emotional. I felt like there was a very heavy stone here that was pushing my throat down. And whenever I tried to say a word, I couldn't say any word. I just cried. Then they said, okay, we will pray for you. Okay, you are safe. Don't be scared. You are safe now. You are in safe hands. Let's just pray for you and we'll take you to safety. So they prayed for me. They prayed. And then they started driving me to their house. And then when we reached their house, when I finished crying, they told me to, if I want, I can just go take a shower so that I can be relaxed. They were so compassionate and very kind towards me. Then I went to the shower. I decided not to take a shower for my whole body, but then I decided to just wash my face so that I can be able to calm down and narrate my story to this woman. So after that, I told the woman everything that happened. They were so sympathetic, so compassionate, and they were so kind with me. So they told me that, okay, we understand the situation. they prayed for me again, and then they started talking about, oh, our children are in danger, our children are not safe. One day we will also have children going to universities, and they will be exposed to this type of dangers. So they were just saying that they wish the government can do more to protect their children or their youth from foreign criminals, because many people, or some of the people, they just go to South Africa with criminal records, and they just enter illegally, and they do illegal things such as drug trafficking and also human trafficking, and they are using South Africans for all that. So they asked me, do you remember the address of the house that you escaped from? I said, no, I don't remember. When I was going out, I was too afraid to even look at the house number. I don't remember the address that I came from. And their house was quite far from the place where I came from, because they drove a quite bit of a distance. So it was not like a neighbor. So I told them, I don't remember that location. So they told me, oh, okay. Now the next thing that we'll do for you is that we'll go to the police. We'll drop you at the police station. We'll call the police to come here, or we'll just go with you to the police station, and then we'll open a case so that we can be able to hold that trafficker accountable. And then at that point, I was only grateful that I managed to escape without anything bad happening to me. My intention was not to open a case, because I was concerned that I didn't have any type of protection. Because if you open a case against a criminal in South Africa, when you go to the court, right, on your court date, you all go to the court, they can hire somebody to follow you and to spy on you and to check your moves and to see where you are staying at the moment. And they can just send someone to shoot you so that they can be able to get rid of the case, so that they can be able to erase the case, because they know that when the person who opened the case dies, the case gets closed. So I didn't want to be killed by this by this person. I didn't want him to trace me and to kill me. So I just told these ladies that I believe that it will be more risky for me if I open a case against them, because they might trace me, be able to find out where I'm staying at the moment, and I might get killed just for them to erase the case and to go free. So after that, these ladies changed all of a sudden, like, what? You don't want to open the case against a person who did this thing to you? Do you know that you could be saving the next person if you open a case against them? Do you know that you are protecting more person when you're putting one criminal in jail? But then if you are scared of putting that criminal in jail and you let that criminal roam around, do you know that you are putting other people at danger deliberately? So it's like they just changed now from being very sympathetic with me to being very aggressive and judgmental because of the stand that I wanted to take. So they were very judgmental on me that, oh no, now we don't understand you at all. And actually we don't believe your story. We don't believe you anymore now. If you were an innocent girl who just got trafficked looking for a place to rent, you wouldn't have any problems going to the police and opening a case. The reason why you have some problems going to the police to open up a case is because we believe that you were somewhere responsible in the process. I asked them, how was I responsible for being trafficked? And then they say that we don't know, that's what we're trying to figure out. And then the other women say that There's no balance in this story. You know what happened? Let me tell you what happened. What happened is that you were dating that man. That man was your boyfriend. And then this man maybe he's been sending you money. And you've been eating his cash for a very long time. And then now it was a payback time. This man wanted to sleep with you because he's been supporting you financially. And you've been eating his money maybe for a very long time. But then now you don't want to pay back by maybe opening your legs for him and sleeping with him. So now you're just coming out as a victim, because it's this story that you are telling us, it doesn't have no balance. Okay? If you were innocent on your side, then you would go to the police and you would open a case. There's nothing to fear. We are telling you that we will support you, we'll back you up. But then in my heart, I knew that these women are not even staying in Alice. They won't be my bodyguards. They won't be moving with me around. If this man checks me and do something to me, it's like all they would say is like, oh, shame, oh, we're sorry that something happened to her. Oh, it's something bad that happened to her. We feel so sympathetic and apologetic. You know, I knew that they were not going to protect me in any way. So I knew that everything that they were suggesting to me, I wasn't going to take it because I was already vulnerable. So I felt so hurt after they told me that this was my boyfriend. I've been eating his money and now I don't want to open my legs. That's why I'm accusing him of being a trafficker. I became more hurt in my heart, and I told them, okay, I will respect your beliefs. I won't argue with you. I know my story. I know what happened to me, and I'm not here to argue. You just believe what you want to believe. But then I appreciate you from taking me off the road. But then it's time for me to leave this house since nobody believes me here. And I feel like I'm getting more hurt. My feelings are becoming even more hurt than before. So I left their premises. They asked me, so where are you going now? I said, I don't know. I'll figure out where am I going. They asked me, okay, you can sleep at our house and maybe go in the morning. At that time, I was so angry because they didn't believe in my story and because they tried to fabricate another story and told me that that's actually what happened with me. My original story is not true. So I was so angry. I told them that, no, I won't be sleeping in their house. I appreciate them for being concerned about my safety and for offering accommodation, but I prefer to be out the streets than to be in their house. So I left their house. They said, okay, at least let us drop you somewhere safe, and then you can see what to do yourself there. I told them that no, I didn't want to be dropped anywhere. I will just figure my way out. So I walked, and then after I walked, I was going down the road. I didn't know where I was going. And after that, I went back to the road. And then I stood next to the streets. And then they told me, oh, come. And then after that, it happened that they decided to follow me because it was very late. And they were concerned about my safety. They didn't want me to get injured. So they followed me. They decided to drive around and start looking for me. And then they found me standing at the other road. And then they stopped at the other road. And then they told me, okay, can we at least drop you at the police station? We won't force you to open the case if you don't want to open the case. But then we'll just drop you there. And then you can just ask the police to drop you to Alice campus so that you can be at the safe space. So I told them, no, thank you. I no longer want anything to do with you guys. but then you can just show me where the police station is at. Just give me direction if you want to help me in any way. And then they directed me to the police station, and they told me to get out of that space as soon as possible because it is not safe for a woman to be there at that time specifically. So I said, okay, thank you. And then they left. After they left, I tried to follow the directions that they gave me. I walked to the police station. I started walking to the police station, but then I couldn't move fast. I couldn't run because my knees were trembling because of fear and because of cold as well. And my hands were freezing, and my feet were freezing, and my whole body was freezing because of cold. So, as I was walking to the police station, to my surprise, the trafficker was back. He recognized me on the road as I was walking, and then he stopped. And then after he stopped, he was so shocked that I managed to escape that house, and I was not bleeding, maybe from the dogs biting me. I was healthy. I didn't have one scar. I didn't have one bruise on my face or anywhere in my body. So he stopped his car. Then he asked me, that property is very secured. How did you make it out? That property is very secured. That's why I took you to that property. That mansion is very secured. The gates, the main gate of the yard, the dogs, plus also the house is very secure. How did you manage to escape? I said it was only through the grace of the Most High God. That's why I decided to escape. You had bad intentions about me, and then you thought that you were going to finish with me when you took me to that property. But the Lord had different plans for me. And then he looked so deflated now. You understand? He didn't have that energy like, oh, he's aggressive. He wanted to hurt me, to do something to me. It's like he was just so deflated, and he looked so terrified and scared when I told him it was the Lord. And then he said, it's okay, just get back to the car. I will drive you home. I said, no, I can't get back to the car. I won't get back to your car. I'll find my way home. And then after that, he got out of his car. He pushed me. But then you could see he was just doing it for the sake of doing it. He was no longer into it that much because it's like he was scared, because he was asking himself, how the hell did the dogs refuse to bite me? How didn't they kill me? Because those dogs are very aggressive. How did I escape the dogs? And then he was also thinking, besides the dogs, how did I escape through the gate or through the fence? Because the fence was electrical, so I was supposed to get shocked or something. So after that, I pushed him. I told him I'm not getting back to the car. And then there were also other cars that were going up and down. So I guess because there were also other cars going up and down, and also I was at the road now, it was so difficult for him to force me in. It would be more difficult for him to force me into the car. So he just decided to give up. He got back into his car, and then he drove. He left. He went to the other direction. So I continued to walk to the police station. But then as I was walking to the police station, he came back, and then he started following me with his car slowly. He started following me with his car slowly, and he was pleading with me, come back to the car. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bring you home. You are safe now. I saw that you are not the type of person that I could do those things to. Since you are protected, I won't do anything to you, I swear. So after that, I told him, no, I'm not getting back to your car. So after I told him many times that I'm not getting back to his car, and after he saw that I was walking towards the direction of the police station, he just made a turnaround and left forever this time. He never followed me again. And then I walked up until I reached the police station. Yeah, so that's all for now, guys. I have part 2. No, this is not part 2. I will tell you part 3 tomorrow. Yes, I'll narrate part 3 tomorrow, and then I'll tell you what happened that night. Where did I sleep after I went to the police station? What happened in the police station? And yeah, we'll take it from there. Thank you very much for watching. I love you so much. Bye. Good night.